Hi, my name is Elaine, and I'm an educator here at the California Science Center. We are a free, nonprofit museum located in Los Angeles, California, in Exposition Park. Behind me is a real-life, full-scale replica of the 1902 glider built by the Wright brothers. This is said to be the last prototype before their infamous first flight in 1903. When the Wright brothers were designing and engineering their planes, they built hundreds of paper airplane models, just like these ones. Paper airplanes are a great way to learn about the form and function of different airplanes. Today, I want to build 3 different paper airplane models based on real aircraft we have here at the California Science Center. When designing an aircraft, engineers need to consider the 4 forces of flight: gravity, the force pulling the plane to the ground; drag, the air resistance of the plane as it moves forward; thrust, the push of the plane forward; and lift, the push of the plane upward. We need to design aircraft that resist the forces of gravity and drag, while utilizing the forces of lift and thrust to make our planes go faster, further, and higher. While touring our aircraft today, we're going to focus on 2 main aspects of each plane. First is the function. What was this plane designed to do? And 2 is the form. How was this aircraft designed to complete its mission? Are you ready? Let's go. I'm standing here in front of our A-12 Blackbird trainer plane. This plane was used to train pilots to fly spy planes in the 1960s. Spy planes need to be fast and quiet. Do you see any design features that allow this plane to complete its mission? The A-12 Blackbird is extremely thin and has very wide wings. This allows the plane to be incredibly aerodynamic and fly up to 3 times the speed of sound. Let's go build a model of our own. Alrighty, so we are going to take our sheet of paper and fold it in half long ways. Now this is probably the most important part. We really want to match those corners and get a good center fold down the center. Now I like to go back over with my nail and really crease the lines we make so we can really see what we're doing here. Okay, so we open the paper back up, and now we're going to take this top edge and fold it down parallel to the center line, making sure that corner is right on the center line, smoothing it out, making our first crease. Then we're just going to do the exact same on the other side. Alright, smooth it out. Oh, that's not perfect, but it is okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go back over with my nail, really crease it out. Okay, now I'm going to fold this top point down along those bottom flaps. So we're going to bring the top point down like this. Okay, and I'm really trying to align the center creases. All right, making sure we're right along the center, and then I'm pushing up until I feel some resistance. Making sure they're aligned, and then I'll crease, push up a little bit, and crease until you can't push anymore. Now I'm just going to check, yep, it folds, perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over with my nail, really crease it, and I'm going to flip it back over, and we're basically going to start over again. We're going to bring that top edge down towards the center, making it parallel with the center crease, making sure that point is right on the center line, crease it once, go back over with my nail, and then do the other side. Again, we're just making the 2 sides are symmetrical. Going back over it. If you don't have a nail, you can use a coin or something like that, just to make sure those creases are nice and secure. Okay, fold it back over. We have this diamond that I want to turn into a triangle. So bring the bottom point up to the top point and smooth that down. You're really going to have to work hard now. We have more layers there. Then I'm going to bring this top point back down to that center line. What we're doing is we're trying to add more weight to the tip or the nose of our plane. So crease that. This is a little tricky, but grab this point right here, and we're going to fold it along this line downward to make a line from the center point down to the right edge. This does not have to be exact, but this is how mine kind of looks. And then all I want to do is make sure it's the same on the other side. You don't have to make it perfect. It's more important that the 2 sides match. This is what we call symmetry, making them symmetrical. Okay? I'm going to fold it, make sure it creases along the center. And I'm really going to have to push hard. We have a lot of layers up top there. All right, and now I want to use my finger to measure about 1 inch. I'm going to fold down the wings parallel to that center crease. Really working hard on those top layers near the tip of the plane. I'm really going to have to push down to make a good crease here. Smooth the other side. And on the second side, I don't need to measure because, again, I just want to make sure the two sides match. Oh, that's a struggle. Okay, there we go. Getting them aligned. Increasing down there. More important that they match. And again, there's a lot of layers up top. Smooth out some wrinkles. Crease down the center. All right, I'm just double checking that they match. All right, and really solidifying those creases with my nail. And along the top. Okay, now we just need to make those stabilizers. So we're going to pull up about a 1/2 inch. It does not have to be exact. And again, on the other side, again, more just making them match. Folding them up straight. Creasing there. Smoothing out the whole plane. And there we have it. We have a pretty good A12 Blackbird plane. Looks pretty good. Oh, we don't want to forget to pull up our stabilizers so they're vertical. And there we have it. Just like the A12 Blackbird, our plane is extremely thin and has wide wings. Let's see how it flies. Now I'm standing at the north entrance of the Science Center in front of our FA-18 Hornet. This is a military aircraft used by the Navy to land and take off on top of an aircraft carrier in the middle of an ocean. It needs to accelerate quickly, turn sharply, be agile and versatile. What features do you see help it do that? This plane has a sleek, narrow, aerodynamic body to help it accelerate really quickly. It also has 2 sets of wings and 2 vertical stabilizers to help give the pilots more control. Let's build our own model. So once again, we are going to take our paper and fold it in half long ways, really making sure those corners match up. There we go. Crease down the center. And again, I'm going to go over it with my nail or a coin just to make sure it's extra strong crease. Okay. And now I'm going to bring that top edge down towards the center, exactly like we just did in our previous plane. Crease that, go over it again, and we're going to do the same with the other side, matching those 2 edges, those 2 points, creasing from the top down, an extra crease there. Now I'm going to bring the top down, but all the way to the bottom this time, still making sure those center creases are aligned. Once I do that, I can crease down the sides. All right, I'm going to check it. Yep, we still fold down the center. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up just until those bottom flaps kind of peek out. I'm going to fold it right along that line. So we're almost making a little zigzag fold in the center of our plane. I'm going to smooth out all the edges here, making sure everything is good and flat to start. So now I'm going to take the center flap and bring it out this time to the right edge, kind of the opposite of what we were doing before. Lining those up and creasing there. Do the same on the other side. Bring the center flap out to the left side. You may have to smush a little in the point and crease it down. Perfect. All right, so bring those back together, smooth everything out, and now we're going to take this outer edge and bring it into the center, over that flap. Now this is a little tricky. The paper doesn't want to bend that way, so I'm kind of going to have to force it towards the center and crease up here at the top. And you can kind of see below my fingers we're creating a little tent. But I'm going to crease that top edge, and I'm going to stick my finger in that tent. I'm going to push it as far in as I can, and I see a little crease forming. So with my right hand I'm pushing up the tent, and the left hand I'm helping smush it down. Go. It doesn't want to go that way, so just smush it down and form your own crease. All right, that looks pretty good. And now again, I just want to match it on the second side. So bring that outer left flap in towards the center, making sure it matches the center fold, matches the right side. All right, creasing that top edge. So that's the important part. All right, so now I want to stick my finger in the tent or the pocket that's created on the bottom. So I'm going to use my left finger, push into that point. My right hand is holding it down, and then my left hand can come out and smush down this crease. What we're kind of wanting to do is there's the center crease that we're making perpendicular with that bottom flap. Okay, so crease and crease. Let's check the other side, crease. They don't perfectly match, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so now under here we have all these flaps that we created before. I want to pull these out, and we're going to fold back along the center crease. So fold back along the center, and then fold this flap back in. Okay, so we're going to do the same on the other side. Pull out these flaps that we have. All right, we're kind of going to reverse the folds, fold back across the center, and then back towards the center again. All right, kind of looks like a squid. That's what I think. All right, so that's where we're at. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a tricky fold. There's this center crease, this diagonal crease, and this bottom flap. So we're going to bring this bottom flap up to where the center crease meets the diagonal crease, making a fold all the way to the end. And if you miss that, here it is. We're going to take this bottom flap, fold it up to where the center crease meets the diagonal crease. I should say the vertical crease. Okay? Now, they don't have to be perfect. Just get them as close to each other as you can. And it really doesn't matter because we're about to flip them back under. We're not going to see this part. So we're going to flip it underneath. It does not matter if it was perfect. We're just going to smooth that under. All right, take the other side, flip it under, so no one's going to see that anymore. Does not matter how it looks. Okay, got that under, smooth it down. Hopefully our two sides are pretty symmetrical. Not perfect, but good enough for me. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this right point and fold it in towards the center. And it's kind of going to make a crease that's parallel to the center line. I'm going to crease there. Okay. And do the other side. Fold the left point in towards the center to meet the right point. And crease it down. We're going to have to work a little harder because there's a lot of layers up at the tip again. Crease that down, crease it down. And now we're going to fold it in half, which might be tricky because we have a lot of folds and a lot of layers. Kind of space these out. All right, fold it in half and push down, crease down all those layers underneath. Use your nail or your coin to really make good creases here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we need to do a little cutout here. Oh, those aren't even. Let's do this again. We're going to make a little crease. Okay, now we're going to make a little cutout. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to rip diagonally and then up. It's going to be a little triangle cutout. So I'm going to rip on a diagonal about an inch from the edge and then crease it over so we can make a good vertical tear as we make our little triangle cutout. Tear that down. Okay, perfect. So now we need to turn these into wings. So what I'm going to do is flip the plane around, take this diagonal tip and fold it to the center crease. Now this is hard because we have a lot of layers, probably the hardest part here. Crease it down the back and really crease down the front. Work really hard to make a good crease there. And now I'm going to flip it over and just match the other wing to the other. Remember, we don't have to measure both sides. We really would just want to make them be symmetrical or the same on each side. So line them up and crease down. There we go. Now we need to really make sure our creases align here, all the way to the tip. worked out any wrinkles. Now I'm going to fold up the stabilizers, and we want to make a crease that's parallel to the center crease, so the tip might hang off the edge a little bit, and that's okay. Then just match the other side, crease there, and we have it. There's our plane. A cool feature on this plane is we can actually take one of the folds on our center and fold it across the other fold. This kind of locks our plane into place. Keeps everything together. Fold up those stabilizers, and there we have it. That looks like an FA-18 paper airplane.
Just like the FA-18 behind me, our plane has a sleek aerodynamic body to help it accelerate quickly. It also has those 2 vertical stabilizers in the back, which give the pilot more control over its direction. Now I'm standing in the Samuel Ocean Air and Space Pavilion. Behind me is the Space Shuttle Endeavour, which completed 25 missions to outer space. The Space Shuttle needed to launch like a rocket, but land smoothly like a glider. Do you see any design features to help it do that? The Endeavour has a nose cone, which gives it a slight aerodynamic shape. It also has really wide wings, which help it glide smoothly and slowly back to Earth. Let's go build a model.
Okay, so for our last plane, we are going to fold our paper in half, just like all the other ones, making sure those corners align. Perfect. Crease down the center. Go over it again with a nail or a coin or another object. Perfect. And just like all the other ones, we're going to fold the top edge down towards the center line, making a good crease there. And again, just doing the exact same on the other side, and maybe a hair or two off the center line, but we're going to crease it down there. And now what I want to do is I want to bring this top point down on the center line. So I'm going to bring that there, making sure the 2 creases align in the center, and I'm pushing up until I feel some resistance, because that's where the folds are at, so I can crease right along the folds, making good creases. Perfect. And now what I want to do is I want to fold this top right edge in towards the center, about an inch above the bottom point. And it does not matter exactly where this crease lands. I'm just guessing right here. All that matters is that the second edge matches the first crease. So the left side and the right side match each other. That's what we call symmetry. So now I'm going to bring this right side in towards the center. Nope, before I do that, I want to bring this bottom point up over those 2 points we just folded in. This is kind of creates a lock and holds those folds in place. So now I'm going to bring the right edge in towards the center, making a line up right there. I'm going to have to hold it in place while I really push down. We do have a couple layers up there at the top that make it a little tricky. And now matching this second edge right there. Perfect. Hold it down while I crease and go over it again and again. So now I'm going to fold it in half, smooth out any wrinkles, really make sure those creases are solid. And that is our Space Shuttle paper airplane. And in the back, we just want to fold these up to make a little Y shape, and there we go.
Just like Endeavour, our paper airplane narrows at the front, creating that aerodynamic shape. It also has wide wings on the back, which help it glide smoothly and safely. Thanks for coming with me today on our tour of the aircraft here at the California Science Center and Exposition Park. We can't wait to welcome you back to the Science Center soon. But until then, feel free to visit us here in Exposition Park and tour multiple aircraft we have displayed outside. But don't forget your mask. See you soon! Enjoyed this video? Visit our website at www.californiasciencecenter.org for more free and fun hands-on activities and content.